All righty, folks. We are out in the middle of nowhere. We're way up here in the cedars, and we had a guy reach out to us. We were waiting on the surveyor. The surveyor come, and what we're doing today, if you can see back here, we've got some pipe. We're just going to be putting in his braces. He wants to clear the property line. That's something he wants to do. It's a big job. You've never dealt with these junipers. They're a trick. There's a lot of them, and to get a good path. The other thing is you have to get a good path enough that you can drive a four-wheeler down through there. Most people don't realize that either. So it's a lot of work. But we're going to take and we're going to put his corners in for him. The surveyor come out. That's the first big step. Always, if you buy a piece of property, either get it surveyed before you buy it so you know exactly what you got, or survey it after. So the surveyor that we work with, he came out, he surveyed this property. You can see it's got property pins. There's a property pin. This is actually the easement, and there's another stake over behind that tree. And this is where we'll be putting our corners. We'll be line siding our braces based on these. There's another one right over there behind that tree, and we'll be line siding our braces. That's about the most we can do. But I got to prep everything because we're going to be taking it on the four-wheeler to the other three corners. So we've got to have everything we need in there to set these braces. The driver, a ladder. It's going to be quite the adventure. So come along with us. All right, folks, we got our first one in. This is the easiest one. Super stout corner. It's closest to the truck. Everything else has got to be put on this four-wheeler, and we've got to go bushwhacking to go find the next corner. You ready, baby? Go bushwhacking. We got to go up through that stuff and find the other corner. We've got everything on here to build a corner. With that driver, you got to have a ladder because these posts are 10 feet long. So, okay. Have we got enough gas in this? It ain't leaking out, is it? That's full. Okay, here we go. We didn't get but about 300 feet. Dropped some of our pipe. Had to reconfigure. The old four-wheeler's doing good. Run around in first gear in this old sand. It's doing a good job. Handy tool. So we come up about 200 feet from the truck. 200 feet in elevation, not 200 feet in length. Come back quarter mile in length. You can see right back over here, we're on top of a pretty good hill. And this is our easement. Corners there. Easement both directions here. So this is where the corner's gonna have to be. This is why we brought the chainsaw. I gotta cut this out of the way so that we can put our brace in here. And when they start cutting a path through here, as you can see, it's no easy chore. This fence line goes right up that way. So bring out the chainsaw, cut a few limbs. We have successfully got this one in the ground. You see right back there's a corner. Miss Polly is gonna go sojourning that way. I'm gonna go get the rest of the materials, and I'm gonna try to ease back around this way and find the next one. It's up a hill and maybe over a hill. But got it in. Working out real well. Good equipment helps. We went for so many years doing things the hard way, and slowly but surely we started collecting up stuff to do it right, and a few things that work. Battery operated saws, battery operated augers. This driver right here is a massive tool. The four-wheeler, things like that have really revolutionized how we do things. And putting in these corners right here, That post is over 5 feet in the ground, right? It was 56 inches, so it's like 5 foot 4 inches in the ground, driven in. It'll never go anywhere, and then these braces are in the ground 5 feet, so they're never going to go anywhere. And the design of the corner, that was one of the things we did way back years ago, was we changed how we did things. We don't do H braces, we do these, and these things hold up so well. They're strategically designed and engineered to really hold the weight. So if you're out there starting out, go get you some tools, invest in tools. I know it's hard sometimes to go justify spending the money, but go spend the money, buy you some really good tools, make your life a whole lot easier. This is some of the topography on this place. It's got some pretty steep hills on it, and you have to take that into account when you're taking and you're going to build fence on it. You're going to have extra braces at the top. You're going to have extra braces in the bottom, and it's going to be harder to get in here with material. You're going to have four-wheel drive or a horse. So you see this hill, this ridge runs the whole entire length of this property. So it's a good thing to take and look at property. You know, the more topography you have, the more expensive it is to fence. Well, folks, end of the day here. Took us a better part of the day to get loaded, get over here, get organized. But this is the last one. And if you'll notice, this is tipped out about 15 to 20 degrees. And we do that on purpose so that when you start pulling on the fence, if there's any movement at all, then it takes and compensates for it and comes to a level, particularly in this ground here. This ground here is worse. It's sand. It's worse if you dig a hole and put concrete in it. The concrete will actually wallow out. You have to be smart about what kind of ground you're putting posts in. So got these in over 5 feet in the ground. Our braces are 5 foot in the ground. They're tipped out. You go to put more tension on this. If there's any movement at all, it'll compensate for it. It'll come to plumb or be just out of plumb, but it won't be coming in and looking like it's sagging. So we're about done for the day. Good morning, folks. We had a long day yesterday out there putting in those corners. Still got the four-wheeler loaded. I got to unload that. And when we bought this truck, the tires were not the best. 3 of them are okay. I mean, they're not bad. This one here is from 2009. And we've been driving around on it. And yesterday I noticed if you park it a certain way, it's got some knots on it. So wherever it's at on there, and it's probably going to blow out the side. And I'm going to have to take and find a tire. That's why we keep everything. We don't throw nothing away. I've got to find a tire that's a little newer and a little bit better shape. May take the spare off of the Suburban and put it on here if it's the same size. I got to go check that out. Got to get this stuff unloaded, tools unloaded, and get ready for Monday. Starts another week. We got a lot of projects in the works. Just got to keep moving forward. Speaking of swapping tires and stuff like that, I was just recently listening to a podcast, and the people in there were talking about, you know, consumerism and you know, the way that people spend money on stuff. And it got me reflecting on our own life. We've never been in a position where we could just go buy what we needed. When I was growing up, if you didn't have the money for it, you made it. And generally, I never had the money for it. So I had to learn how to make what I wanted. If I wanted a bow and arrow, I'd go to the woods and I'd make one. If I wanted a machete, I made a machete. If I wanted a knife, I made a knife. I couldn't buy a bullwhip, learned how to braid one. Need a rope, learned how to do it. And generally, if I had something and I wanted something else, I had to take and trade what I had for what I wanted. So I learned how to barter and trade fairly early in life. And sometimes they were good trades and sometimes they weren't. Sometimes they were whimsical things. Hey, I want that. And then after I got it, I realized I didn't make too good a trade, but my dad made me stick to it. And that really builds some character. So I don't have the money to go buy a new set of tires for this. So we're probably going to end up taking the tires off the Suburban, seeing how it's not running, and put them on this. That's just part of Homestead, frugal lifestyle, you know, make and do with what you got. I always tell people we do what we can with what we got. And we get the job done. And I think we're in better shape now because we live on a homestead and we don't have a lot of bills that we're definitely able to eat what we want. That's a blessing. Here lately, this year's been a really good year. I've been able to buy the tools I need to do my job better. So that's been really nice. When I'm able to, like this year, I'm able to go buy a piece of equipment. I'm able to go buy a tool. It kind of scares me because I've never had that. And I keep thinking I'm in this survival instinct of when I got money, I got to hang on to money, even though what I'm buying has the potential to make me more money. I just take it. I want to hang on to it because I have this survivalist mindset. That's how I grew up. It's survival. So if you got money, you keep money. You don't spend money. And it's kind of a hard thing to reconcile when you've grown up that way and you've kind of lived that way, hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, job to job. That's what we do. We live job to job a lot of times. And to go spend that money, it's just scary. It kind of scares you when you can just go buy it. It feels so easy. You have the money to go do it. It's just scary because you know that down the road, or you have this impending fear that down the road, it's not going to be there. There's not going to be any work. There's not going to be any money. And yeah, you try to put money back for those times and you try to have things ready. We invest a lot in stuff that we can sell, but you just live with that impending fear. So it's kind of a hard thing to take and go forward with. And I think that's one of the things that, for me, I struggle with. So just some real talk there. I got to get all this stuff unloaded. I got to change a tire. I got to go meet a buddy of mine down at Sanders. I got a chainsaw for him. He's going to look at it. It quit running. So he's going to take it and see what he can do with it. And I've still got stuff I got to go do. I got to go feed, first one thing and another, and be ready. Miss Polly went down to the local market this morning. They have a Borderlands produce. It's a produce rescue where you pay so much, everybody pitches in, pays so much, and you get a box of produce. So we've been doing that here lately. She went down to volunteer, help make up boxes and that sort of thing. So by the time she gets back, I got to have this tire changed so we can run and go see my buddy. I don't know if you can see that tire is really weather checked. 235 85 16. If you can see that or not. That's where that tire is going to come apart. We drove all the way to Farmington like that. I'm going to go check the one that's on the Suburban and see what it is. So yesterday I didn't get a chance to get to this. Be honest with you, I wasn't feeling too good yesterday after a hard week of working. But today I'm gonna take and get to it. If y'all have watched my channel, you've seen me break down tires before. when I was growing up, first time I ever seen this done was my Uncle Stevie. He's my mom's brother, quite a bit younger. And he was working on can't remember, some kind of classic car. Of course, back then it wasn't really considered a classic. It was kind of new, probably 78, 79, somewhere in there. I was young, probably 79 or 80. I'd seen people do it. When I got into my teenage years, I traded for this old 66 Dodge truck, and my English lit teacher and my computer lit teacher, he hired me while he went on vacation to take care of his place, and he had a brand new set of tires that he gave me from my old truck, and it was mostly boyhood dreams. I never did. I mean, it would run, but just due to finances and really not any resources, I didn't really get to drive it a whole lot or do anything with it. But I was out there breaking down tires, and I was just having a terrible time because, you know, like I said, I'd seen people do it, but I had never really done it myself. And there's a way you put the tire on there. You put the tire on from the front because it's more narrow in the front than it is in the back. And my Uncle RD, he came out there and he said, "You're trying too hard." And Uncle RD, if you don't know him, he had just a real calm demeanor. And he walked out there and he just slammed that old rim in that tire and broke it down and put it on there. And boom, it was on there. No fuss, no muss, no hard. And that always had an impact on me growing up because I had seen, you know, the opposite of that a lot growing up. I've seen people get mad, just fight. Been guilty of it myself. So, but Uncle RD, he just was calm and easy and just changed that tire. This tire is broke all pieces now. You see that? That tread broke right in two right there when I broke it down. It ain't no better off than that other. That cap will come off there.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the old tire?
This is the tire that, this is the tire that was on the Suburban. But it ain't much count. When I had that jack on it, it just, you could see the rubber.
I seen it. It's just
open up. That ain't much count. So yeah, I don't know if it's worth putting on there or not. If that whole top's off there, it'll swell up and bust. We might just be better off to ease along with this one.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts an end to that. Better to find out now than down the road somewhere. Well, best laid plans, they gonna say. That tire ain't gonna work out. Ain't no sense putting it on there if it's almost as bad as the one that I got on there. So I'll just have to ease towards town and find a tire. We do have a spare in the back right here. It is a way different size. It would have to go on the front. But we drove to Farmington on this. We've driven everywhere on it, pulled trailers. I'm going to chance it. If it don't work out, I'll let you know. We'll see. So I had a a guy contacted me yesterday about the Suburban. If you watch my social media, you know we put it up for sale. The truck needs a new set of tires. So I'm gonna try and get it sold today to him and go get a set of tires for the truck tomorrow. It's a trade-off. It's what we do. Trade what we got for something we need. So I'm waiting around for him this morning before I get into anything else. And my allergies are killing me. My Lord. My nose is running. Just having a terrible time this morning breathing. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully tomorrow I can get a set of tires for his truck. Alrighty, folks. My nose is still running. Excuse me. Got the Suburban sold. Old man liked it. Took and drove it right on out of here. It will run and drive, and the air works really good on it. He drove it on out of here, and go tomorrow and get tires on the old Ford, old green Ford. So that's how that worked out. Started out with one plan, ended up with another. You just never know what's going to happen in a day, and you just got to roll with punches. So until next time, trust in the Lord and do good. Live off the land. Enjoy the bounty of it. We'll see you later.